Hi, it's Tamika, and today I'm going to share a red bean and rice recipe. So, Louisiana style red beans and rice. One of the things that I regret as an adult is not paying more attention to my Medea, my father's mother's cooking. So, growing up, my father's side of the family is from Louisiana, and I don't know why, but I didn't really pay that much attention to her cooking. But I do know one thing. I loved her red beans and rice. So, here is my attempt at making this recipe. Well, making the recipe and measuring it out. See, this is the one thing about this. I cook all the time, but measuring stuff out so that other people can maybe make the recipe is the thing that I'm working on. So I actually used small red beans. So yesterday I took 2 cups of red beans. Actually, last night, 2 cups of red beans, and I soaked them in water overnight. So don't forget, if you're cooking your beans, soak them in water overnight. It just sort of speeds the cooking process along. And I think it kind of cleans them a little bit more too. So I did that, and I am going to use 4 stalks of celery, a tablespoon of chopped garlic. I like to use a chopped. It's easier. I don't have to worry about it. Just buy it in a jar. And when I need to cook with it, I do. On the jar, it says 1 teaspoon equals a clove. So you can do the math on that. I'm also opposed to using 1 onion. Yesterday, I went to the farmer's market and I bought these. It's not a green onion, because as you can see, it's much larger than a green onion. But, so this is, I guess, the beginnings of how a red onion would grow. And it grows this green part. I use it all the time. Sometimes I buy the white, sometimes I buy the red. Did I just say red? I meant to say red. So I'm just using 3 of these opposed to 1 large onion. So you can use an onion, or if you should happen to find these, you can use these too. And I'm also using 1 bell pepper, 1 pack of, and I picked beef, Hershire Farm sausage. And as far as the spices are concerned, I like it spicy. So this part you can leave out if you're not a spicy person. But this is 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper and 1 teaspoon of red crushed pepper. But what you do need to put in here is this is 1 bay leaf, 1 tablespoon of dried parsley. Let's see if you can see. There's a teaspoon of thyme in there and a half a teaspoon of sage. As far as the Cajun or Creole seasoning, I'm also using a tablespoon of Tony Chachere's original Creole seasoning. If you don't have that, I also have Zatarain's in my cabinet. So either or, a tablespoon of that. If you're concerned about salt, then because you are going to get salt from the sausage. So if you're concerned about salt, maybe bring that tablespoon down. Okay? So these are all of my ingredients, and I'll start the process. Okay, heat your pan for a couple minutes until it's hot. Put in about a tablespoon of cooking oil, and then you want to add your chopped vegetables. So that's your celery, your onion, and your bell pepper. And you want to just cook that around until it's soft for about 3 to 4 minutes. once your veggies have cooked down, you now want to go ahead and add your 6 cups of water, beans, your garlic, and your spices. Your water's in. Now my hotness with the cayenne pepper and the crushed pepper, tablespoon of garlic, the 1 bay leaf tablespoon of parsley, and a half a teaspoon of sage. Now you're going to just bring this to a boil and then cook on medium to low heat for 2.5 hours. Okay, I have an hour left to cook. And I just wanted to show you what the beans look like at this point. So there's the bay leaf. Don't forget you're going to take that out before you actually serve, or once your beans get done cooking. So as you can see, there's lots of veggies in there, and that's intentional. So you can get those in. Right at the 2.5 mark, we're going to put our sausage in and our seasoning. I don't know if you the Tony Cashery, I'm trying to remember how to say his name. That Creole seasoning, we're going to put that in when we put the sausage in. My granny taught me that you don't put salt in beans in the very beginning because it can make your beans tough. So I intentionally did not put the salt in when I put the other spices in. Also, I forgot to mention that I put the thyme in when I put the parsley and sage in. So I put the thyme in the very beginning. Okay, I'll be back. We have an hour to go before we put the sausage in, and then that's going to cook for 30 minutes. Okay, so we are 2.5 hours later, and this is what your beans are going to look like. So now it's time to add that tablespoon of Tony Cashery's Creole seasoning. Let's give that a stir. I think I want to go ahead and take my bay leaf out at this point. I'll take that out. And then you want to just sort of smash some of your beans on the side of your pot to help thicken your gravy here. And I'll do that a little bit better when I'm not just using one hand. And then you want to go ahead and add your sausage. And you'll put this in and let this cook for an additional 30 minutes. And then your beans will be ready. This is probably a very good time to go ahead and put your rice on now. And I'll show you what this looks like when it's all plated up. Okay. Okay, here's the finished product for your rice. There's 4 cups of water, 2 cups of long grain rice, a pinch of salt, and I cook for 24 minutes. I don't know, something about 24 minutes works for me. And so then just fluff it when it's done, and it's perfect. And here are your beans and sausage when they're done. So the veggies cook down. So you just have all of that goodness in here, and then you can just plate it up, and it's done.